what's everybody? This is my Stamina Dragon Knight that we use for PvP. This is a overland Cyrodiil build, but it does great in Battlegrounds as well. So to start with, we are an Argonian, which is 100% not needed, but it really makes to get your self heals really efficient, and it makes the ganks from Nightblades almost negligible because you have huge poison resistances. We're running 64 stamina, and we are running the Serpent Mundus for sustainability because it's a pretty resource heavy build. For our foods, we are running Dueling Sugar Skulls just because I had them. We could definitely do Artaeum Takeaway Broth as well, would be really good food item to use. For our sets, we are running the Mark and Ring of Majesty so that we get that big 200 and weapon and spell and the 2300 armor, which gives us good damage and tankiness. Our one piece for that is going to be the Druid's Braid heavy chest, and that's just because it gives you the exact same buff as Chest of Trainee, and you can make it, so you don't have to spend crazy amounts of money for a good trainee chest that you still have to transmute. I'm using blood spawns for my monster set. I've seen a bunch of other sets being ran with something similar to this, like Shudans or the Dwarven Construct, but I really like Bloodspawn because, again, it just really increases your sustainability and your resistances, and it also gives you a bunch of ultimate regen, so you can just keep dragon leaping. On that, we are running Plague Break on the front bar, and then the back bar, we are running Clever Alchemist. And for that, I'm using Plague Break jewelries, and then mix match of pieces between Clever and Plague Break. Our back bar is a sword and board so that we have more defensive capabilities in the back bar because this is a pretty tanky build. You can definitely 1vx with this pretty easily. For our skills in the front bar, we're running Dizzying Swing, Noxious Breath, Executioner, Resolving Vigor, Camouflage Hunter, and then Take Flight. Of course, this is going to be your spammable Dizzying Swing, and then this is your Execute. So the second you see them drop below 50%, you start using that instead of Dizzying Swing. Back bar, we are running Fossilize, so you can just lock people down. Venomous Claw, Cauterize, Fragmented Shield, which is a flex spot. You don't have to run Fragmented Shield, I just like it. Volatile Armor, and then Shield Wall. So with these two bars, you pretty much run up, set your Venomous Claw, make sure you have make sure your Volatile Armor. If you need the shield, put the shield up. Cauterize, I keep up almost non-stop. So while in the fight, I just Venomous Claw and then Fossilize if they're trying to run, Noxious Breath, and then start spamming, and then Execute. And if they try to run off, Take Flight. And if a bunch of people run up, you just use Shield Wall, and that's going to block everybody. And they're either going to think you're super tanky and they're going to leave you alone, or it's just going to give you a great 6 seconds of fighting without taking any damage. This is a non-vampiric build, but if you did run Vampire, it would give you a lot more low health sustainability. But like I said earlier, this is kind of a resource-heavy build because Dizzying Swing isn't the cheapest thing to use, along with Executioner, Noxious Breath, all of them pretty expensive. So when you run Stage 3 Vamp, it's going to cost even more. Yeah, that's the majority of the build for that stuff. For the champion points, I'm running Duelist Rebuff, Wrathful Strikes, Deadly Aim, and Master at Arms. And then for the red category, running Boundless Vitality, Pain's Refuge, Slippery, and Sustained by Suffering. All this stuff, all of our red is based on getting our health up and then giving us 3 separate things that let us keep moving and also let us fight big groups, which is what this build's for, is 1vx in groups. And then everything over here is all for dueling. And the biggest part of this build is you just want to make sure that when you're fighting, because right now our weapon damage is 3200, and you want to pop your potions while you're fighting so that you can get that buff. Otherwise, you're going to be a little bit hitting lighter than you should be. I'm going to include battleground footage so you guys can see how it plays. And yeah, make sure to like and subscribe and come back and check out the other builds.
friendly.